Much like the open-world environments in the Souls games, the city of Yharnam doesn't give up its cleverly concealed backstory as easily as most would like. There's no shortage of disturbing dwellings in the game, and some of them are much more horrifying than others. The gravestones that litter the valleys and the many pools of blood and bones are a sullen reminder of your vulnerability. With every beast you hunt, there's always the brooding expectation that something much larger is hunting you as well. The Lovecraftian horror atmosphere gives the game plenty of startling moments to experience, and unsettling areas to explore. Here are 8 of the creepiest. Hemwick Charnel Lane. The ambient music score, or in this case the lack thereof, reinforces a feeling of empty hopelessness. Upon entering, you're immediately greeted with bellows of insane laughter, literal piles of tombstones carelessly placed atop one another to give a deathly luster to the ground below. Head up the path and you'll find a rotted and decrepit barn. Inside there will be enemies waiting to ambush you, with the creaking of barely hinged doors as your loudest and only sound in the quiet terror. The Chapel in Old Yharnam. When the plague first reared its head to the citizens of Old Yharnam, fire was sought after as a weapon against the beasts for its cleansing properties. Abuse of this discovery led to the destruction of most of the city. Further proof of this can be explored in the chapel in Old Yharnam, now overrun by wolf beasts and hooded ghouls. A giant creature, much like the blood-starved beast you face later on, serves as the chapel's centerpiece, murdered and chained up by hunters. Stepping in and coming across this imagery does beg the question: if 2 of the beasts are discoverable, how many more might there be? The Spider Room. The Nightmare of Mensis is the final area you will discover along the main story. Rightfully deserving of its title, it's home to some of the most nightmarish creatures in Bloodborne. This includes a deadly pack of predatory spiders in one of the buildings. Hostile when provoked, they are initially docile when you walk in. They don't do anything, they just hang there, menacingly. All the scarier when your hunter is caught walking beneath them. Alluring you into a false security, they descend to your level and pounce on you just when you think you might be safe enough to pass through. The Unseen Village of Yahar Ghoul. When entering the village, the first thing you will undoubtedly notice is the color scheme of the sky. A much more dramatic overhead presence sets the tone below, where colossal beings will be seen hugging building structures, waiting feverishly for you to pass so they can grab you. Accompanied by the sinister sound of a ringing bell and bloody and diseased townsfolk. It can all add up to be quite the fright if you aren't expecting it. And believe me, you won't be. The Lecture Building. Find this place right after you defeat the One Reborn in the unseen village of Yahar Ghoul. Inside, you'll find giant slugs patrolling the hallways that contort and swivel their heads when chasing after you. A couple of them would rather find you, as they hide up above items dropped, alluring their next victim with the false promise of valuables, and then dropping down and suffocating them. None of which, however, is more disturbing than Patches of the Spider, an interactive NPC with the anatomy and body of a spider, but the face and dialect of a mortal man.
Oh, this cannot be. You cannot be.
The Upper Cathedral Ward. This area is home to some of the toughest enemies in the game, including Ibritis, Daughter of the Cosmos. The inside of the building is silent and gloomy, almost to a threatening level. In the main room, keep an eye on the chandelier. Get too close and it will become evident that you're not alone. Silhouettes of unidentified creatures will swat down the chandelier, your only light source if you don't have a torch equipped, and almost instantly you will find yourself overwhelmed by lycanthropes. If you manage to get past them, another one will be on the prowl above you next to a window. Grab the item and run. Don't worry about looking back. It knows your scent, and it knows where to find you. The Bottomless Pit. This one will take a little preparation if you're up for it. This easy-to-miss scare requires you to access a hidden path down a broken elevator in the Nightmare of Mensis, and pull a lever that will reveal a colossal brain-like figure. Do some backtracking and you'll end up accessing an elevator that doesn't ever seem to stop. When the door opens, there doesn't seem to be any visible ground below. You are expected to step out into a void of absolute nothingness. You start to hear breathing that isn't your own. Something is down here with you. Walk straight ahead and you will find the same, yet weakened brain figure staring at you, in a helpless state. And its loud, piercing heartbeat echoes through the void. This enemy is killable, and when you find it down here, it'll probably be the only thing you'll want to do. The Hypogean Gaol. The gateway to this realm lies in one of the enemies. Not to mention being one of the scariest enemies in the game, the abductors will kill your hunter and seek to imprison him. Instead of respawning at your last lamp, you will awaken inside a rotted jail cell. The door is left unlocked, but you will meet horrific foes outside of the cell. More abductors pose as guards of the prison, and evil witch hags with fishhooks will come off screen to attack you and carve out your eyes. Since you're at a place much earlier than you should be, all enemies will be stronger than you. The only means of escape is a lamp checkpoint, very, very far away from the cell you woke up in. You can request more of Bloodborne in the comments section if you'd like some insight on a topic we haven't yet covered. And of course, always remember to please like the video and subscribe if you wish to support us. There's quite a bit left. We're not done by any means.